is your girl Jade Ashley, and I want to welcome you back to a new video of When the Beat Drops. And like always, you know I'm here to give you my 5 hottest beats and music of this week, so stay tuned for more. Okay guys, so I'm sure by now you probably noticed that the background of my video looks completely different, and that is because for those of you who may not know, I am in college and I actually do live on campus, and every video of When the Beat Drops that you see, I'm usually home on the weekends when I record. But the way my weekend is set up, you know, I think it's best that I just try to do my video while I'm still here at school. But you know, I still want to get content to you guys, so yeah, I'm at school right now, so I don't have my lights and everything, so if you know the color balance seems off, please excuse me. This might be the first and last time that I do a video at school, but whatever. Let's just dive into our 5 hot beats of this week. And my first beat of this week, I want to talk about the premiere of the latest season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I want to actually use my tweets from Twitter to, like, you know, kind of guide me through my opinions with this first episode. So if you guys actually don't follow me on Twitter, be sure to follow me at Jade_Ashley94. And okay, so this is what I had to say about Love and Hip Hop. I usually with like a lot of shows, what I'll do is I'll sit here and I'll tweet while watching the show and stuff like that. So if you guys ever want to know what I'm thinking about certain shows and stuff while it's happening, you should definitely follow me on Twitter. But anyway, getting to what I feel about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So the first tweet that I said or while watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was, what? Love and Hip Hop Atlanta got Tiffany Fox, and I think I mentioned Tiffany Fox briefly in like videos like from like sometime last year when I talked about Little Kim, because you know she was like, I guess you can say marketed as like Little Kim's protege and stuff. So Tiffany Fox was like the first artist that we saw on this episode of Love and Hip Hop, and that was because Mimi, she started like her own like artist management service, and she was going into business with Stevie J, and one of the artists that she was interested in was Tiffany Fox. And I think that's pretty cool because, you know, Tiffany Fox, she kind of has like a following. Like, I knew who she was, first of all, so it's like she has like a following and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool to like have her on the show. Now, as far as if she's managed by them, I doubt it, because as you can see, Mimi and Stevie J together are like drama or whatever. But I thought it was pretty dope to like have her, you know, on Love and Hip Hop. If I play with my hair, I'm sorry. I did this last week's video. But yeah, so that was the first tweet I said regarding the show. Then I moved on to Mama D. So apparently Mama D and Erica have like this better relationship and stuff or whatever this season after last season, after they had like this breakthrough. But that's not, you know, what the focus was. Mama D, apparently she had this performance in Atlanta, and she was performing her single I Deserve, and I didn't know it was that serious. Honestly, I really did not think it was going to be like that serious. Like, I know she was talking about, I think I should do my own song, and Scrappy was like, you know, maybe I should support her and give her something to do so she could leave my life alone. But she's like serious, like she had performances and crowds and stuff like that. So I was like, Mama D, she is so serious with this whole singing situation. Like, whatever for the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you know, cameras and stuff, I guess it make for better TV. So and then I retweeted a tweet. Somebody tweeted, said, first of all, Nico is gay. So we did not know about Nico being married until last season, after Nico and Mimi's sex tape came out, and then it was revealed, oh, he's still married. So we are introduced to his wife in New York City. That's where they first introduced her on the show and stuff like that. And what I said was, why Nico's wife sound like somebody's Instagram bio? Model, designer, singer, songwriter. Because she was like, hi, I don't even remember her name first and foremost, but I think her name was like unpronounceable first and foremost. But I was like, she does all of this stuff, and basically it seems like what she was saying was, her and Nico, they're still legally married, but they had like this whole open, you know, marriage situation where he was with other people, she was with other people. And I'm like, what kind of fuckery y'all got going on, first and foremost? And then she was like, yeah, you know, I understand you lied to everyone else about the whole, you know, your whole agenda for the sex tape, but you never lied to me. So I felt, you know, some type of way. And I'm like, miss, I'm like, you sitting here talking about you mad that he lied to you. How about you just mad that it's a sex tape with him and another woman, and you're still legally married to him? And first and foremost, I'm like, y'all twisted out here. Like, please. I'm like, yes, Nico, take her away from New York, because we don't need that here, and take her down south with you to Atlanta and stuff stuff, and y'all do what y'all do there. But moving on from that, then I didn't, the show kind of caught up with like Rashida and Kurt. And it started with Kurt because Kurt has this new office, and the office just happens to be a apartment. And he has this new artist by the name, I think her name was Ashley or something like that. And in her confessional, she said how that she signed a 5-album deal with Kurt. And I'm sitting there like, what? A 5-album deal with Kurt? So my tweet to that situation was, how she signed a 5-album deal with Kurt when we still ain't seen one from Rashida? Like, I know Rashida probably had like mixtapes here and there and like singles and stuff and whatnot, but I don't ever recall, especially since she's been on Love and Hip Hop, album from Rashida. So how he signing with somebody? First of all, I don't even think he has like a major label. I don't think Rashida's on a major label, so I don't understand that. So she should kind of know it's some type of setup and some foolery that's about to go on later in the season. But then after that, I moved on to Mimi and Stevie J again. Like, it seems like they're trying to like better their relationship, especially like after Mimi was hurt with the whole sex tape situation from last season. And you can see that the way last season ended, Stevie J, he really does care about Mimi through all the BS that they go through and stuff like that. But they always gotta go at it. I guess that's how baby mothers and baby fathers do. They go at it all the time. So we did not see Jocelyn whatsoever in this first episode. So one of the things I tweeted was what Mimi said to Stevie J, because she was confronting him because she wanted him to come to a showcase with Tiffany Fox to showcase why their management company should be representing her and why he should work with her and stuff like that. So he effed that up, got drunk and stuff. And then, the day after, he came over to Mimi's house and she was like, what is wrong with you? Is your wife the cause of this? Talking about Jocelyn. And then she was like, where is Jocelyn? So she said, where's she at? The jail, the zoo. And then I'm like, Mimi just don't stop. She stayed coming for Jocelyn. Jocelyn was not nowhere spotted in this first episode, and she stayed coming for the Puerto Rican princess. Like, we understand that they did you wrong, like, seasons ago, but, like, get over it. Like, just whatever, okay? And moving on from that, somebody retweeted and they said they gotta get Ayana to host the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reunion this year. She the only person that can save them, because they always got some ratchet crazy-ish going on in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But I feel like Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is like the best of the franchise. We got New York, and unfortunately, as a New Yorker, I have to say that Love and Hip Hop New York does not do New York any type of justice. So like, they could cancel that. Then we have, of course, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which was the second of the franchise, and I feel like Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is like the best of the entire franchise. And then of course, a couple of months ago, we had the first season of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and it was cool and stuff, but I feel like Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is definitely number one when it comes to the whole Love and Hip Hop franchise. But then moving on from that, it was like the end of the episode, and I was just kind of talking about what to expect after they showed like this season on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So definitely when I saw Jocelyn, I was like, nah boy, I really miss seeing Jocelyn in this episode. Like, it would have set it off if she was in the first episode, but it seems like her and Stevie J are gonna go through like a lot, of course, like always this season. They're like the Stevie J, Jocelyn, and Mimi, they're like the three main focus of like Love and Hip Hop, and then everybody else is just like surrounding with their drama and stuff like that. But I can't wait to see the Puerto Rican princess. Like, I've learned to just love Jocelyn for who she is. And then also I saw that K Michelle, I told you guys that's my BFF. Like, even though she's not a part of the cast anymore, it's like ever since she like officially quit the show, she still somewhat makes an appearance on the show, even if it's like one episode. So I'm excited to see, of course, my best friend K Michelle, and I think she only like makes still like appearances on the show is as favorite to Mona, because she still has her own reality show that's under Mona's company on VH1. So it's like, why not? Let me just pop up and say, hey, what's up and stuff or whatever. Hey, more TV time for her. I love it. So I'm excited for this new season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Love and Hip Hop New York was absolutely corny, so I don't care or whatever. So I'm excited for that. It's just like a whole bunch of drama, somebody else getting pregnant, it's gonna be more fights. Like, you have to love Ratchet Mondays. I know it looks bad at points, but at the same time, let's not act like every Monday at 8 o'clock we are not tuned into VH1 and see Ratchet TV. So yes, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta every Monday, VH1 at 8 p.m. Like I said, if you want to hear or know what I think about the shows, follow me on Twitter. I definitely tweet during all of the shows. I hashtag all of that. And yeah. So moving on to our second beat of this week, I do want to talk about Waka Flocka Flame. He is running for president, y'all. And I thought at first I saw everyone talking about it, and I'm like, what the hell are they talking about Waka running for president? Like, this was obviously, I did not take it serious, but I wanted to see the video that they were talking about. So he recently did an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, and it happened to be, you know, earlier this week on 420. For all of my stoners out there, I guess happy belated 420 to y'all. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't smoke. I said that before, but yeah. So he did an interview with Rolling Stone, and he talked about, yeah, I'm running for president. And I mean, we know Waka, and sometimes people have this perception of him of being like just whole wild boy and stuff, especially like based off of his music. But he's done a couple of interviews on the Breakfast Club, and some of the things that he said in his interviews, made you think like, oh, he's really like, you know, kind of smart. Like, not that I ever thought that he was like dumb or whatever, but he a little smart and stuff or whatever. So he said he was running for president, and they asked him a couple of questions and stuff or whatever, like to, I guess, his campaign trail or whatever. So they said, what is the first thing you're going to do when you get into office? And he said he is going to legalize weed because, you know, it is just the, you know, solution to all problems and stuff or whatever. And then he also said that he wanted to stop having dogs in restaurants and stuff, but I don't really see dogs in restaurants when I go, so I don't know where they do that at. But, and he said something about like people with like size 13 and up in their feet, they can't, it was something stupid or whatever. But then another thing he said, they asked about education, and he said that he wants to teach kids more reality skills, and he wants to do so by teaching them through song lyrics. And he said if they fail, they gotta start all over again from 3rd grade and work their way back up to 12th grade or whatever. But I do like the whole song lyric situation, because, you know, when you were little, they would say, you know, how like adults would say to you, I hope you know your schoolwork the way you know them song lyrics. So it's like, why not teach kids stuff through song lyrics since they're able to learn song lyrics quicker than they learn like their schoolwork and stuff or whatever. So yeah, other than that, he said that another thing that he wanted to do was raise minimum wage to like $15, and he kind of got the idea from like In-N-Out Burger. We don't have In-N-Out Burger here in New York, so I don't know the experience of it, but I know it's like in LA or something like that. So he said definitely raising minimum wage to $15. And then another thing that they asked him about was women's rights, and he said that he feels like women have like all of the rights that they could ever have. He said women nowadays are strong. And then he used his mom Deb as an example. He said his mom was his father and his mother, and she raised, I think he has like 2 brothers or something like that. So she raised like 3 boys to be like men and whatnot. So I thought that was, you know, true. And then he said he doesn't feel like it's like a women's rights issue, it's more of like a respect issue. So I mean, like, you know, even in the funny, you know, he still makes sense with certain questions and whatnot. And then after that, they talked about like who does he see as his competition in the race, and he said Hillary Clinton, and he was like that women love her, so, and you know, her husband is like Bill Clinton and stuff like that, so that would be like his only competition. But yeah, and then he said DJ Who Kid is like his vice president. So I thought that was just like a little humor for like the week, you know. Hashtag, what's the hashtag? I'll put the hashtag at the bottom, something with Waka for president or something like that. But yeah. Okay guys, so moving on to my third beat of this week, I now want to talk about the first part of the R&B Divas LA reunion. And I think the last time I talked about R&B Divas was when the season premiered. I think that was back in February or something like that. And you know, whole new season, 2 new cast members. We had Bray Williams and we had Stacey Francis join the Divas, and it was like so much that happened this season that just got me so upset. And I was just like, Lord Jesus, why? So I just want to sit here and talk about what I thought about the reunion. And first things first is I feel like everyone looked amazing, even the people that got on my damn nerves this season. But I feel like everyone looked amazing. And of course, Wendy Williams was hosting the reunion like she's been doing. I think she hosted every reunion for both franchises of the whole R&B Divas. And I think the big factor from the beginning to the end was, of course, Stacey Francis. And when I last talked about R&B Divas, after I talked about the first episode, I called it. I knew that Stacey Francis was going to be a big issue, and that she was. And I think in the season you could kind of see the division starting to happen. You know, my auntie Chrisette Michelle, she left. She didn't even finish the season because she already knew that Stacey Francis was going to cause nothing but trouble, and she was not here for that. And I actually commend her because she was not going to come out of character and destroy her brand, because I feel like she is doing the most out of all of the cast members. So I wouldn't even showed up to the reunion, or I would have showed up stunt and I would have left in the middle of it, but she stayed for the whole first half and stuff or whatever. So she was one person that had an issue with Stacey Francis, and she called it quits. She called it deuces. I think another big issue was that I feel at a certain point in time, definitely towards the end of the season, that the ladies started to like kind of gang up on Shantae. And the main people who ganged up on Shantae this season was definitely Little Mo. Little Mo absolutely, you know, she disappointed me, and I absolutely love her. So I didn't understand like why she was acting the way she was acting. And I kind of felt like because Stacey was there to like, you know, kind of egg her on and be her cheerleader, it kind of like helped her, you know, go. And I'm just like, why is Little Mo acting like this? I felt like she was definitely out of character, and I really didn't like how she was acting this season as much as I love her. I still love you, Little Mo, but yeah, I just, to be honest, I didn't like how you were acting this season. So it was Little Mo, I think it was like really Little Mo and like Leela James along with Stacey Francis that kind of like ganged up on Shantae Moore. Like, I understand that it was issues with Shantae Moore last season, but within this first episode they did like this whole retreat thing where they were like all cool with one another. And I felt like as soon as Stacey Francis kind of like, you know, came in the situation and she had issues with Shantae Moore, then, you know, they was like, yeah, we don't like her because she thinks she better than everybody. She thinks she innocent and this and that. And it was just like really wilding. And they were really like a bit like halfway through the season, I felt like I didn't want to watch the show. But, you know, I have like this set up TV scheduled. So I like, I'll just watch and stuff or whatever. But I will say after this season, I kind of fake don't want to watch the show anymore. It's because like, y'all really too old to be doing this. And it's like, I had to really look up Stacey Francis' age. Stacey Francis is freaking 46 years old, damn near 50, older than my father, and she's on TV being so immature. And I'm like, why do this? I'm like, miss, you can sing. I did not know of her prior to R&B Divas, but I'll be honest, she can sing. And it's like, if you can't sing, you can't be on R&B Divas, with the exception of Latavia Robinson. But you know, it's like she can sing. So it was like, miss, you're so talented. Like, why be this old, bitter, childish, petty woman on reality TV? Because we are going to judge you. I mean, we're in 2015, and that's what happens when you're on reality TV. But yeah, she was just horrible. And aside from her getting into arguments with Chrisette Michelle and Shantae Moore, you know, I love Brave. She, Wendy had asked her, they said, you know, do you feel like you kind of like played it safe? And she was like, yeah, I kind of played it safe because I'm new to the cast, so I don't want to be sitting here wilding out and stuff like that. You know, I want to be neutral to every situation. So I absolutely loved her. Aside from being beautiful, aside from being, you know, talented vocally, you know, I feel like she had the best personality of the cast this season. And then another thing I kind of didn't like was I felt like it was also a moment where they kind of ganged up on you know, Michelet. And I think the only people that really kind of ganged up on Michelet was Wendy, of course, because y'all know she's Wendy, she messy. And then, like I said, I did not like Little Mo's attitude whatsoever this season. I just felt like she was one of the bad guys this season. And, you know, it's like for someone who claims that her and, you know, Michelet was like so close, I understanding had they riffs and stuff like that, but it was times when she was just coming down on Michelet, and I'm like, yo, I was watching the show and I was like, if I was ever in a situation, it would have easily became a WWE SmackDown match, and I would have got kicked off, and I would have been cool with it, and I would have been like, I went out with a bang, because I felt like a lot of people are just like out of pocket. I'm like, come on, please. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Well, before I even jump into next season, I will say that part 2 will be on TV1 next week at 10 p.m. So, I mean, am I going to watch? I'm not sure. I'm like maybe 65% on the yes side of things, but I can easily change, because like I said, you know, I became very much annoyed with like the attitude of the ladies this season. I know for a fact that if they are getting another season after this, I will not see my auntie Chrisette Michelle on the show anymore. I know for a fact, because she left in the middle of the season due to the entrance of Stacey Francis. But if they do come back, I would probably watch the show for, you know, Brave Williams. I feel like I'm the type of person, because I've always been like the underdog in just about everything that I do, and I would consider Brave to be the underdog, because Wendy said to her, Brave, I'm sorry, but I didn't know exactly who you were when you came on the show. And she said to her, I used to be in this group called Rich Girl, and I told y'all 7th Streeter, she was in that group as well. And then she was like, when we broke up, I took all of my earnings from that group and I invested it back into myself, and I created my own music, and I pushed my own singles and stuff to radio, and I used the show as a platform to get myself out there. So like right now, she's definitely the underdog compared to the rest of the divas. So, you know, I'm always the type of person, being an underdog myself, I, you know, root for the underdog. So I would love to see the prosperity of Brave if she does come back for another season, or if, you know, if they are renewed for another season. But other than that, it was just a whole bunch of petty old women like arguing on stage. And the number one factor for like the whole, you know, first part of the reunion was Stacey Francis, and, you know, Little Mo and Woody Williams is kind of bullying, you know, Michelle just a little bit. And I would probably not see Chrisette Michelle, probably not see Michelle, and 9 times out of 10 probably wouldn't see Shantae Moore come like next season and stuff or whatever. But moving on from my 3rd beat of this week, I want to talk about my 4th beat, and I'm so excited about this beat. So if you guys don't know, I think I said in a video before how much of a fan I am of PARTYNEXTDOOR, and I love that. I love that man. Like, I think my favorite song from him would probably have to be between we all know his song Recognize, but I think my favorite song from him would either have to be between Right Now or What's Good. I think those are like my 2 top favorite, you know, P&D songs. P&D short for PARTYNEXTDOOR. But PARTYNEXTDOOR, he finally did his first ever interview, and I was so excited, because when I started falling in love with his music, you know me, I'm always somebody, I would like to do stuff like, you know, artist spotlight and stuff like that, and you would not really find too much information on him. So, you know, he did his first ever interview with Fader magazine, and I'll be sure to insert the album cover, the magazine cover right here. And in this, you know, magazine issue, I was able to, you know, I read the article and I was able to learn about him. So I just wanted to read some facts about him, and then also read some quotes about P&D, and then I'll insert some pictures from the spread as well. So one of the first things that I learned was that he is 21 years old. I'm 21. I was like, we the same age. I got so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, we're the same age. So, but he was actually born in 93 and I was born in 94. So he turns 22 in July. But for the most part, we're 1 year apart. So that's like still being the same age. So I was hyped. I was like, yes. I was like, me and P&D is the same age. And then a couple of influences that he had mentioned in the article was Jodeci, Boyz II Men, Blackstreet 112, you know, 90s R&B type of stuff. He said those are like some of the artists that his dad used to play and whatnot, which would make sense if we're the same age. So we would be influenced by the same type of people. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, and then he also said that in the article, you know, they kind of said he was like, I think he's like 6'3" or something like that. So they say, like, not only is he tall, but when he talks, he has like this type of West Indian accent, even though he is from Canada. And he said that his mom is Jamaican and his dad is Trinidadian. Now me, I'm just straight black. I'm African American, whatever you want to call it. But you know, just about everybody in my life that I know just has some type of West Indian descent to them, and I just happen to live in like the West Indian part of Brooklyn. So yeah, like I'm surrounded by nothing but anybody from like the West Indies. So for all of you that like love P&D, like, because I know there's a lot of people that love him, he's Jamaican and Trinidadian, so I know y'all about to go off if y'all see this video and y'all hear that, if y'all did not know that prior. So but some of the quotes that I wanted to read included like his, I guess like his start in like music and stuff like that. He kind of said that he tried to, it went all the way back to like MySpace days when he tried to like get in touch with like management companies and producers and stuff like that, and they like, you know, respectfully declined him and stuff. So, you know, what do you do when you can't get an opportunity? You create your own opportunities. That's how When a Beat Drops was born for me. I couldn't get opportunities, so I created my own. So yeah, so for him, he wasn't able to get like a lot of opportunities, so he created his own opportunities. And he said, so I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna learn how to produce my own beats, and I stuck to it. Now it's hard to even take a beat from anyone else. And then from like making his own beats and stuff like that, I read something where they said that he eventually got a deal to be a songwriter for like other artists, and one of the artists that was mentioned that he, you know, would always submit songs to was Justin Bieber. Now in the article it didn't mention whether or not that any of the songs that he submitted was recorded by Justin Bieber and stuff like that. But long story short, by him not getting, you know, opportunities within music, he created his own opportunities, and from that, you know, he kind of got a deal to being a songwriter. But unfortunately, after a while, he didn't want to be the one behind the scenes. He wanted to be the artist, you know, in front of the camera. Instead of having other people sing his songs, he wanted to sing the songs himself. So another quote that kind of came about was from when they said, so how do you write about the topics of these songs and stuff like that? So he said, I think too much, which is a blessing and a curse. I was so against smoking weed because I always wanted to be in control, but my friend convinced me to smoke weed one day, and as soon as I smoked weed, that's when I started writing like that. So like all of the deep songs that we just love from him, he said, yeah, I don't know no art. Well, this artist that I probably know that don't smoke weed, but you know, there's a lot of artists that sit here and say, yeah, you know, you see the visual of them like smoking weed in the studio before they hit the booth and whatnot. And what, yeah, anyway, so yeah, other than that, he talked about, we all know like when we listen to his music, it's like a little auto-tune to it and stuff like that. So when they asked him about like the whole usage of auto-tune, he said, the first time I heard auto-tune, it was not via T-Pain, it was via people I listened to, my cousins, cultural shit like Vybz Kartel, Mavado, who would scream and belt the hardest shit out. So for all of my West Indies, like I said, y'all know y'all Vybz Kartel, y'all know y'all Mavado and stuff like that. So, you know, he kind of got the idea to use auto-tune on his voice from those two. And I've never been to a P&D show, but I heard that when he's live, he doesn't have the auto-tune incorporated into his performances, that he just does it naturally and whatnot. So, but I would absolutely love to do a P&D show, and I think he just came off of a tour, and they mentioned his show at like Urban Plaza. But my issue with artists is when they come to New York City and they do shows at Urban Plaza, they do that shit like in the middle of the week, like I don't have class, and I'll be ready to skip class, but then I'll be like, I'm too close to graduating, so I think I'll stay at school. But I think the only artist I was able to catch at Urban Plaza at the perfect time was Tamar last year, and that was because school had already ended. But yeah, so whenever he definitely comes back and he does like a show in New York or whatever, I'm definitely trying to be there. So I had to miss his recent tour. But other than that, another quote that I want to read is, a lot of people make a lot of comparisons to him and The Weeknd, and his response to that situation was, people throw that Weeknd comparison over me because I came at a time where people assumed I was there to fill a void, and the void he was kind of talking about was that, you know, The Weeknd used to be OVO affiliated, and then I think in like 2012 he like parted ways with Drake in the whole OVO situation. So they kind of, he kind of felt like people were saying that he was trying to, you know, fill that void that OVO had, I mean, that The Weeknd had left when he exited ways with OVO. But he said, a lot of things that came out of Toronto were darker at that time, but me, I'm all about colors. I'll flip samples where one's a completely dark song and the next one is a complete sexual song. People think my whole thing is a dark thing, but I don't. So I'm excited about, you know, hearing more from him. Like his music is just like so soothing to me. Like, I don't know, like it's just so soothing. Like I love driving and like blasting his songs in the car and stuff like that. So yeah, so if you guys are interested in actually first of all, I will link, you know, the link to like the whole Fader interview and stuff. Sorry guys, my school is near an airport, so y'all hear nothing but planes. Like, I'm sorry, but yeah, so I'll link the link to like the whole Fader P&D, you know, interview and stuff. And if you want to pick up a physical copy of his first ever interview in Fader magazine, you can cop it on newsstands May 12th. So yeah, moving on to my last beat of this week, I have to talk. I really did not want to talk about this, but it's like everywhere I went, everyone kept talking about it. So I kind of felt like, okay, you might as well talk about it. So it was revealed earlier this week that unfortunately Ariana Grande and Big Sean are no longer a couple. So which is sad, because, you know, when they first got together, like a lot of people were like dissing them. They was like, yo, why is Big Sean, you know, dating this little girl? Because Big Sean is dead like 27 or something like that, and Ariana is only 21. So they would make jokes like Big Sean taking his girlfriend to daycare, and all of y'all know the memes and stuff y'all seen before. But yeah, so they are no longer together. And a lot of people kind of speculated, okay, maybe that Justin Bieber situation that I mentioned like 2 videos ago was what did it for them. But they actually have been broken up for weeks, and they claim that it was like scheduling issues that kind of, you know, made them break up when they first initially broke up. But then it was like more details that had emerged. And according to TMZ, they say that the downfall of their relationship started in February when Big Sean made the most important appearance of his career at the House of Blues in West Hollywood. A lot of people showed up, including Kanye West, Justin Bieber, J-Lo, Chris Brown, Jay-Z, A$AP Rocky, Tyga, and Kylie, and Kendall. And everyone was there except for Ariana. And they were saying that she wasn't there because she was prepping for her performance at the Grammys, which was the next day. And he felt that was very immature that she didn't even, you know, take a minute to like stop by one of his biggest performances of his career as far as his girlfriend. And another one that they said, another issue that they said that kind of led to their breakup was that because they are 2 very popular artists in pop culture right now, they kind of spend a lot of time apart. So Big Sean would always make the effort to go visit her, and she did not put in the same amount of effort to, you know, return the favor and come visit him. And she always wanted him to go, you know, cash out and spend all this extra money just to come see her. And he wasn't with the shits. And he was like, look, man, it's not working out. But they are saying that they are still like friends and stuff, so which I guess is cool. So I've been hearing a lot of people say, well, yeah, they're broken up and stuff like that, but just to hear that they're still friends, they have some type of hope that, you know, maybe they, you know, might get back together. I don't know, I thought they was kind of cute together. You know, I never was, you know, crucial towards their relationship and stuff or whatever. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's sad, but it's not like they was together for years. They were only together for a couple of months. They like started dating like sometime last year, so I don't even think they made a year yet. But I mean, I'm sorry y'all broke up. But y'all both successful artists, so I mean, if y'all ain't got each other, at least y'all got y'all music, right? I guess. So yeah, those are my 5 hot beats of this week. Okay guys, so I want to thank you for tuning into this week's video, and like always, you know, I end every single video by reminding you guys to comment on my videos, like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and share my videos with others. And I have a few notes to leave you guys with this week before I officially sign off. So the first note of this week, I want to send a big congratulations to Vic Mensa. This week it was announced that he signed a deal with Roc Nation, and we all know Roc Nation is like one of the elite record labels out here in 2015. So congratulations to him. And if you guys don't know, he was actually a part of the XXL's 2014 freshman class. So, you know, stuff like that actually pays off when you're able to like sign to Jay-Z's label. And speaking of Jay-Z, rumors have been swarming around this week, and it was saying that, you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce are somewhat done with their duet album, and that the album will be exclusively released on Tidal. So they are doing any and everything to get everybody to sign up for Tidal. So if you guys have not signed up for Tidal yet, the idea or the thought that having Jay-Z and Beyonce releasing an album just for Tidal or just being on Tidal might, you know, convince y'all to like sign up for that. So just in case anybody doesn't know. And my last note of this week, I just want to acknowledge Rihanna for her latest cover of the 2015 summer issue of V Magazine. So I'll be sure to insert the cover here. And you know, Rihanna slays everything, like any cover that she does, like whether she got clothes, yeah, I know she don't always wear clothes and stuff or whatever. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And yeah, that's about it. So of course I have to leave you guys with my song of the week, and I decided to give my song of the week to J. Cole. So if you guys remember my album review back in December for his album 2014 Forest Hills Drive, one of the songs that I said was my favorite right off the back was his song Wet Dreams, and he recently came out with the official music video for the single. And when I tell you, I had no idea what he was about to do with this video. When I seen it, this did not meet my I don't want to say meet my expectations, but he like caught me off guard. I was like, okay, Cole, alright. So I decided to make the song of the week in honor of the video being released this week. So if you actually want to see the video in its entirety, of course, you know, you have to head over to my blog at www.jade-ashley94.blogspot.com, and I will see you guys most likely in my room at school next week. So yeah, later.
Stop touching and her face stop blushing and a nigga roll over on top and then she get my